Now, I'm Ashley Hune from the Steffes group here at Farm and Tech Days in Loyal, Wisconsin. I'm here with the fabulous farm babe, Pam Jahnke. I've been waiting my whole life to say that.
You did it well. You did it well.
All right. So we do radio interviews all the time, and you're on how many radio stations?
26 across the state of Wisconsin.
Excellent, excellent. So we were just excited when we got this started a couple years ago to partner with you guys, and I think it's a really good relationship. But I'm here today to talk about how you got started. Let's go way back.
Yeah, no kidding. Way back is exactly right. Yes, smart aleck. Yeah. No, farm broadcasting is all I've ever done as far as my career is concerned. I grew up on a small dairy farm in northeast Wisconsin, about 26 miles north of Green Bay. My farm is still there. I'm now the fourth generation that's operating it. The cows went about 15 years ago, but the ground we're still cash cropping. Went to school at River Falls. Now, initially, when I went to school, it was to become an agriculture attorney. But I was in college in the early mid 80s, and if you recall, agriculture was in a terrible state at that time. Interest rates were near 20% if you were lucky.
Right.
A lot of foreclosures. That was what motivated me to want to be an attorney. So I got to River Falls, and my sophomore year, my advisor said to me, "Jahnke, why don't you wake up and smell the coffee? You never shut up. You're talking to everybody all the time. Why don't you go across the street to journalism and see if they've got something that fits you?"
Sure.
So long story short, I ended up with dual degrees, broad area agriculture broadcast journalism, got a national scholarship, and I got offered a job on the plane ride back from the scholarship presentation. And I haven't looked back since. I don't know what God meant for me to do if it wasn't this.
So what was the transition like when you actually took that step forward and started different classes, obviously, and stuff like that?
Honestly, I feel bad for people that don't know what they're going to do with their career. For me, it just clicked like a hammer. It's a lot like what you guys do. Mm-hmm. You know if somebody's got the juice. You know if they've got that ability to talk to people, roll with things. And for me, it was all very natural. So like I said, I never looked back. This was what God meant for me to do. Now, in my business, and somewhat you guys too, you establish your own personality, you establish your own core audience. You're setting up a business plan, although it's not written down. How are you going to serve your audience? Where are your priorities going to be? How are you going to treat tough issues? And in agriculture, there's always difficult scenarios. One side this, one side that. So, like I said, the older you get, the wiser you get. But then again, the questions and the topics get more complex too.
Yeah. So in our company, we've actually named it. You get the Steffes way.
There you go.
So what's the Farm Babe way?
I think we probably mirror ourselves pretty much the same. Anybody that works with me has to, number one, be from agriculture. You have to have an agriculture background. I say it all the time. I can teach you radio. I can teach a monkey radio. But I can't teach you agriculture. And I'm not talking about the science. I'm talking about the tempo, the timing, helping people understand that feeling. It's spring, and it's still not warming up. It's spring, and it's really wet. You can't teach that anxiety that you feel, and your audience.
Sort of say.
Exactly. You can't teach people seasons. You can't teach people that feeling when that milk cow goes down. So I need people from agriculture that are sincere and authentic and really genuinely care about the industry as a whole. Because you can tell I talk with my hands, so good thing this is video, but you've got to have a passion for it. If you don't have a passion, when you're in radio, people can hear. You can hear a smile, just like you can hear that. So you have to have that passion for it, or you're gonna. And farmers will call you out. You know that.
100%. One thing we always say is farmers are the most sold to group on the planet.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's everything. There's another seed company, chemical, co-op, day by day, new thing coming out, and they really have to weed through it. So I would say they're the best at calling you out on any of that stuff.
And now they're being approached by a whole different group of businesses that don't know them at all, but they're, and you can understand the frustration of the farmer. You're taking up my time. You don't know me, you don't know what I do, you don't know anything about my industry, but you want my business. That's where that sincerity and, being respectful and appreciative of what they do, that goes a long way with us.
Yeah. another thing we always talk about is we're in the people business, service. You are too.
Oh, yeah.
And making that connection has got to be everything in your business.
Oh, it's funny, and I've got a new cadre of employees that I'm managing now. And one of the things that I have to help them understand is you are not living just in the social media world. We are a face-to-face. You've got to go out to those people and interview those people. It's not just an email exchange, text message. You got to see them and talk to them.
Yeah.
You are going to establish that relationship and be ready for when they see you at the fair, when they see you at the grocery store, when they see you wherever they see you.
Right.
Now you're a part of their circle. And for young people, that's a little strange sometimes.
It is.
They are so on this. So like I said, those soft skills and making sure that they realize you have a responsibility to the audience, not only on the air, but when you're in the community as well.
To your point, just at dinner last night, talking to the guys that helped set up this booth, and the show was yesterday. I wasn't here. This is my first day today, but they talked about no cell service and all that. And I said, wow, won't that be great? People got to talk to each other tomorrow when we get there.
That's exactly right. It is. Now, for me, it gives me a heart attack because I am very dependent on trying to do my job and get stuff back. But yeah, you're right. And again, when I'm doing the interview process, you can pick up right away if this person, they may have a journalism degree or ag communications degree, but if I'm getting a sense that this is the only way they're really comfortable, well, come on. And because we, in broadcasting, you don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
It's like your business. You don't know what's going to happen.
No.
You got to be ready to roll.
Got to think on the fly.
And I said to him, you may think you know what story you're going to get, but you've got to keep your ears open and your mouth shut and let that story unfold. Don't make any assumptions. That's half the excitement of the job.
Yeah, it really is, truly. Let's talk about personal life a little bit. What kind of hobbies you got?
Oh, Jesus,
All of them?
Well, now you tell me, how many farmers, honestly, do you know that have a hobby?
It's work.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It is. And so my husband is an alfalfa specialist for a big company. So, and our families still farm. Our friends are all in farming. So our job is our dinner conversation.
Right.
On the weekends, we go home and farm. So it does.
Sounds about right.
My one of my favorite things is to drive my Case 500 diesel tractor in parades. That was my dad's first tractor. Him and I restored it. So I'm one of those kids that's got that story. And I suppose if my husband was here, he'd also say I have two exceptionally spoiled Sheltie pups that I spend way more money than he's comfortable with on, but we don't have any kids, so those are my babies.
Well, they need daycare too, right?
Yeah, right. And then the other weakness I have is we have a second home by Green Bay, by Lambeau Field. And I'll just stop right there because you can tell how that
obsession. We can fill in the blank.
Yeah. And I don't want the social media comments to blow. I got everything, baby. I got everything.
Figured. I figured.